In 1946, America's tall ship, the U.S. Coast Guard cutter Eagle, launched with its first round of cadets. Now, that was an exciting year as World War II had just ended the previous year. So we have all kinds of political events happening, from the first meeting of the United Nations. We have Harry Truman is president at that time, and we have events like Winston Churchill's very famous speech in which he popularizes the term the Iron Curtain. This was a speech that is seen as one of the opening volleys of what will become the Cold War. But amidst all of this political activity, we also have a lot happening on the social scene and what we might think of as pop culture. First of all, we have the invention of Tupperware. The patent for Tupperware's iconic burping seal was officially granted in 1949, a couple of years after this. And Tupperware became so popular, sold in Tupperware parties, that they actually closed stores because they no longer needed it. At the same time that Tupperware was coming out and becomes part of the iconic 1940s, 1950s culture, we also have the arrival of the bikini. Now, two-piece swimsuits had started in the 1930s. They became popular first in Europe, and then we see them arriving in the United States during World War II, when we were attempting to ration clothing material. But we have the official arrival of the bikini, which was considered only genuine if it could be pulled through a wedding ring, according to its French designer.
Hand salute. The colors of a ship, like the U.S. Coast Guard Academy's Eagle, are always honored when you leave or arrive aboard the ship. It's departure day. Anticipation is running high. Captain Erik Jones has been the Eagle's commanding officer for nearly 4 years.
Anytime we have folks visit Eagle, we always get the question, why in the world would you be sailing a ship whose technology was at its peak in the late 1800s and expect that to train a modern officer? And we directly teach skills such as firefighting and damage control, navigation. Those skills we can teach on here just like any other cutter in the fleet. But having a square rigger with 23 sails to handle, 139 lines, it allows the upperclass cadets to organize the underclass cadets, and it becomes a leadership laboratory, because to tack the ship, to wear the ship, which is the equivalent of a jibe on Eagle, takes manpower being in the right place at the right time. And the cadets are forced to learn to coordinate, communicate, and lead. And that's where sail training is the means to an end.
The value is twofold. As an underclass, it's mainly to get the experience as a junior enlisted and find what it's like to come together and bond as a class. We have half the class on board at a time, and they come together really well. They become more of a family. It's a common element that they all share within their summer experience, so that they can have that when they get back to the academy to share stories, talk about events, talk about what they've done. And then as upper class, we live the junior officer life, so it's a way to transition us into the actual Coast Guard fleet when we'll be ensigns. And it's an opportunity for us to work on our leadership abilities, hone our leadership skills, as well as work on qualifications that we'll need once we graduate.
Currently, every cadet will spend at least 6 weeks on Eagle, and those that come back in the upper class roles can spend as much as 19 weeks total. And all officer candidates that attend our officer candidate school also go to sea for 2 weeks on Eagle.